amused mastery has always been one of my strong points.
Can you explain that a little bit more?
Sure, sure. I've got a full post on this as well. It's called Amused Mastery. What it is it's being in control. I'm of the opinion that that women seek competency in men. They're looking for a guy who knows how to fix a tire and knows how to, cook spaghetti and do, lots and lots of different things. They're looking for a competency because that really goes back to their need for security. And in doing so, if you're a guy who has your shit together, if you really have your shit together, it's even better. But if you can fake that you have your shit together, at least you're presenting the appearance of having a mastery that amuses you. So when a girl starts talking to you or chatting to you about something or trying to seek your approval or your validation for whatever, it doesn't even matter what she's talking about, but most women want you to validate their conversation, because remember, women aren't having the conversation to actually to transfer information to you. They're trying to get a feeling, they're trying to associate a feeling with you. And what I say is I think that guys need to present this appearance or present this atmosphere, I guess, of having a mastery and then being amused by whatever that woman is saying. So I didn't really learn the effectiveness of amused mastery until I had a daughter, because it was really easy to do that with my daughter. If she would show me something, daddy, blah, 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 and I'd be like, that's nice, that's cool. Hey, did you, and then you would have that kind of fatherly, yes, sure. And like, it amuses you. Like you already knew what she was going to say, but you are like 2 steps ahead of her. Like you're playing chess and you're 2 steps ahead of her and you know what her next moves are going to be. And so you it's amusing to you that you already know what the next part of the conversation is going to be. If you can present that, it sort of gives them that the older guy vibe, the younger girl and the older guy vibe. She's looking to you for competency. She's looking to you for security. And she wants to know that you know what you're talking about. She wants to know that you just get it. And so that's my definition, my loose definition of amused mastery. A lot of guys think that it means being aloof. Well, if I'm just aloof and if I'm disinterested, well, that's one thing, but I'm sure that any pickup artist or any guy who's a practitioner of game can see how much of a dead end that ends up being. Because if you're aloof to a point, they don't want to have anything to do with you. They don't want to have that. You're kind of negating the conversation.
Yeah, well, you can't be amused and aloof. You got to be one or the other.
Yeah,
amused means you're engaged.
I think, and this is here's some advice. If you are getting into game, if you're saying, okay, I want to go out and I want to learn how to do this. I want to learn to be a little bit more socially intelligent and socially savvy with people in general, but girls in particular. I would suggest that any guy who wants to do that get into an improvisational acting class. If you're an introverted kind of guy, and you want to be more outgoing and you just can't figure out why why you're not the life of the party or anything, learn to get into situations that force you to be amusing, first of all, and then second of all, forces you to never say no. And when you're in an improvisational kind of sketch, you never want to say no, because no kills the conversation. And so it's not just, the answer is never to come up with, acting on the spot. It's never just about a yes or no question. It's yes, and let me tell you why, blah, 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 blah. And then you continue that conversation. I think that would be invaluable for any guy getting into pickup right now.
Yeah, Rollo, could I cut in here?
Yeah.
All right, so what you just said about amused mastery, this is one thing that's changed in the past 10 years. It's gotten much easier to be more amused with yourself, because I think especially in the past decade, people have been less self-aware. So if you're a man who shows you can be amused at girls, especially really pretty girls who are having, likes thrown at them on Instagram, on their social media page, where every guy is like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. And if you sit there and laugh at them and like, oh, you're cute, you're funny when your face scrunches up and like bump them on the nose. Like I found that. No, that has honestly, in the past 10 years, that has gotten easier. Like the amused mastery, because that, if you're amused, you're self-aware, and this is getting rarer and rarer as time goes on.
I think the older you get, the easier that becomes too, because you're not bullshitting anymore. You actually have the mastery that they expect from you. I really think that that's one of the reasons why younger girls tend to go for older guys. Usually, I mean, statistically, it's between 5 to 7 years older than themselves. And I think that hypergamy can't afford to take chances with a woman's, breeding potential in her life. So it makes sense to find a guy who's older and is competent, like I said, and has a mastery over life and his environment, and can not only just protect her, but also, excite her and entertain her on top of that.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm sure the chat room is going to explode right now saying, well, I don't want to do dancing monkey. I'm not going to be somebody that she doesn't want me to be. And I will tell you this right now, that if you want to have any kind of engagement with a woman, you are going to have to find some way to entertain them, to be, to not to say entertaining, but just to be interesting enough to carry on a conversation. I mean, at what point does it stop being dancing monkey and it starts being just about who you are? And that's what you're about.
Let me flip the perspective on that one. Maybe the issue is not you're a dancing monkey. Maybe the issue is you're a boring fuck, and that's just reflective on how people act with you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's why I think that's just one second, Rich. I'll pass it off to you. That's one of the reasons I think that, like I said, younger women go for older guys, is because they're looking for the guy who's already made. They're looking for the guy who has that mastery and can make them laugh, because he knows he's seen the movie before, and she's part of the movie, and he's playing the game with her, and he's not shutting her down. He's not saying no, but he has a mastery over it. So she can be in an exciting, maybe sometimes dangerous situation with the guy, and she's associating that exhilaration and that dopamine hit with that guy. But yet at the same time, she's like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing, and he's cute, but he also has his shit together, and that really appeals. Yeah, that appeals to a woman's sense of hypergamy, because they need the guy who's already made.
Yeah, and I want to cut in again, just for 1 second. I'm telling you, girls under 30 years old who move to a big city, they are there for excitement. All right, if they're young and attractive, they're not looking for a relationship. This was a big red pill I had to swallow, even when I was in my late 20s. Like, the girls who move to a big city, they don't care. They don't give a fuck about settling down. They are there for excitement, so you have to bring that excitement, and that's also part of the game. You got to be fun.